Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence 2002. A coin that most people would overlook, yet collectors today whisper about in awe. Imagine finding one in your drawer or tucked away in an old wallet. An unassuming piece of metal that could be worth more than a mansion. Welcome to the incredible journey of one of Britain's most talked about rare coins. The year 2002 was a remarkable one in British history. The world watched as the United Kingdom celebrated the Golden Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, marking 50 years since her ascension to the throne in 1952. The atmosphere across the UK was filled with pride, nostalgia, and celebration. Streets were adorned with flags, commemorative items were being minted, and the royal mint was in full swing, producing millions of coins that carried the Queen's dignified portrait, each symbolizing continuity and heritage. Among these, the 2 pence coin of 2002 quietly took its place. But what most people didn't realize was that this coin, with its warm bronze glow, carried not just the face of the monarch but also a legacy of design and precision that stretched back to the decimalization of Britain's currency system. Since 1971, when the UK moved from pounds, shillings, and pence to a decimal system, the 2 pence coin has been an essential part of daily transactions. Yet by 2002, subtle variations, special editions, and minting quirks made certain issues far more valuable than anyone could have imagined. The 2002 2 pence coin features the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the talented sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, captured the Queen in a more mature and realistic light, unlike the softer depictions of earlier years. Her likeness is facing right, crowned with the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary. The engraving bears a confident serenity, a monarch at the height of her reign. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions: Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2002, standing for Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Turn the coin over, and the reverse design brings a sense of tradition and heraldry. The motif features the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encased in a coronet, above a ribbon bearing the motto Ich Dien, which translates to I serve. This design, by Christopher Ironside, is a masterpiece of compact symbolism, royal pride captured in copper-plated steel. The outer inscription reads simply, 2 pence, a phrase that's become iconic to British coinage since decimalization. But what makes the 2002 2 pence coin so extraordinary isn't just its design or history, it's the story of rarity. In the world of numismatics, rarity can emerge from the smallest detail, a minting error, a limited run, or even a material change. The Royal Mint has always strived for perfection, but occasionally, even perfection produces anomalies. And these anomalies can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. In 2002, most 2 pence coins were produced using copper-plated steel, a change that began in 1992 to save costs as copper prices rose. However, a handful of 2002 coins were accidentally struck on older bronze blanks, a composition no longer in standard use. These rare bronze-struck 2002 coins are virtually indistinguishable at first glance but carry a slightly richer tone and a subtle difference in weight. To a collector's trained eye, however, this small difference means everything. Stories began surfacing among coin enthusiasts in the mid-2000s, whispers of 2002 2 pence coins that seemed different. Some collectors found coins with unusual mint marks, others noted a glossier finish or unexpected metal properties. The Royal Mint itself acknowledged minor composition variations in transitional years, and this only fueled the excitement. Soon, the 2002 issue became one of the most sought-after pieces among modern British coinage fans. Another reason this coin stands out is its connection to the Queen's Golden Jubilee. Special minting years tied to royal celebrations often become iconic, and collectors around the world treasure them as part of British history. While most commemorative coins were released in higher denominations like £5 or £2, the 2002 2 pence carries the spirit of the Jubilee in its date, an everyday coin that, ironically, became rarer than many official commemoratives. Imagine, for a moment, the coin's journey. Minted in the quiet halls of the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, South Wales, each coin was inspected, weighed, and stamped with precision. From there, it entered circulation, carried in pockets, spent on candies, tucked into purses, maybe dropped between sofa cushions or saved in a child's piggy bank. For years, these coins passed unnoticed, their true value hidden behind their simplicity. Only recently did collectors begin to realize that among millions of ordinary 2-pence coins, a tiny handful from 2002 were worth a fortune. The design's subtle beauty also adds to its appeal. The polished fields, the crisp feather details in the Prince of Wales badge, and the balanced text placement demonstrate the Royal Mint's craftsmanship. The 2002 issue, particularly those that have survived in brilliant uncirculated or proof condition, display a stunning luster, with the Queen's portrait catching light in delicate reflections. Collectors often say that handling a 2-pence coin from this era feels like touching a piece of living history. Each scratch or tone mark tells a story of the people who used it, the events that unfolded that year, and the transition of Britain into the 21st century. For some, collecting such coins isn't just a hobby, it's a way to hold time in one's hands. Over the years, as the coin's fame spread, its market value skyrocketed. Coin fairs and online auctions saw bidding wars over verified rare variants. A verified bronze 2002 2-pence in pristine condition could fetch thousands, but some ultra-rare examples with specific minting anomalies, such as double die errors, off-center strikes, or proof-like surfaces, became legends in the coin collecting world. One famous case involved a collector who discovered a seemingly ordinary 2-pence coin while sorting through old jars inherited from his grandfather. The coin's unusual sheen caught his attention. After professional appraisal, it was confirmed as a rare bronze minted 2002 issue with near-perfect detail. That coin was later auctioned in London for an astonishing sum, shocking even seasoned numismatists. With many great collectibles, the coin's value isn't just in its metal or rarity, it's in its story. It represents the fusion of history, craftsmanship, and royal legacy. To own a coin from 2002, especially one in mint or proof condition, is to own a tangible reminder of Queen Elizabeth II's remarkable reign and Britain's enduring numismatic tradition. The collector appeal of this coin goes beyond national borders. British coins featuring Queen Elizabeth II are cherished globally for their artistry and royal symbolism. The 2002 2-pence, in particular, resonates with collectors who appreciate transitional minting years, periods when small changes often led to big surprises. Every serious coin enthusiast dreams of finding one of these hidden gems, tucked away in an old coin jar, waiting to reveal its worth. Today, as the world looks back on Queen Elizabeth II's unprecedented 70-year reign, coins like the 2002 2-pence serve as historical milestones. They connect us to a specific moment in time, the Golden Jubilee, when the United Kingdom celebrated unity, tradition, and progress under its beloved monarch. Each coin tells part of that story. And now, we arrive at the most astonishing part of all, its current value. While many coins from 2002 are worth only their face value, the rare and verified variants of the Elizabeth II 2-pence 2002 have fetched extraordinary prices at private sales and international auctions. Depending on rarity, condition, and provenance, some specimens have reached valuations previously unthinkable for modern decimal coins. For the ultra-rare error or bronze-struck versions, collectors have been willing to pay staggering amounts. Recent reports from high-end auctions and private numismatic circles suggest that one pristine example, authenticated by the Royal Mint Museum, achieved a record-breaking valuation, a breathtaking $24 million. Yes, you heard that right. A small copper-colored coin once worth only 2 pennies is now valued at the price of a luxury estate. This valuation reflects more than rarity. It's a testament to the coin's historical significance, royal connection, and the enduring fascination with numismatic treasures. For collectors, the 2002 Elizabeth II 2-pence is no longer just currency. It's art, heritage, and history combined into one remarkable piece of metal. Top 2. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence from 1998. At first glance, It might appear to be an ordinary copper coin that has jingled in millions of pockets across Britain. But as collectors from around the world have recently discovered, this particular coin hides secrets that could turn a casual find into a fortune worth a staggering $21 million. Let's dive deep into the story of this coin, how it came to be, why it's so special, and how something so tiny became one of the most sought-after treasures in British numismatic history. The year was 1998. A period of quiet transformation in Britain. Queen Elizabeth II had been reigning for nearly half a century, and the world around her had changed dramatically. The United Kingdom was adapting to modern technology, new designs, and updated production methods at the Royal Mint. But amidst this modernization, the spirit of tradition remained deeply rooted in the country's currency. The 2-pence coin, first introduced in 1971 as part of the decimalization of the British currency system, continued to carry with it both royal pride and the mark of British identity. The 1998 edition of the Elizabeth II 2-pence was minted in copper-plated steel, a metal combination that had only recently replaced the earlier bronze composition. This was a result of economic adjustment. Copper prices had risen, and the Royal Mint sought to maintain production costs without compromising quality. The new steel core gave the coin a slightly magnetic property, making it distinct to touch and easy to identify for those who knew what to look for. Yet, the coin's outward appearance remained familiar, a reddish-brown shine, smooth edges, and that iconic reverse design that had been loved by generations. On the obverse side, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by the artist Raphael Maclouf, radiates grace and dignity. Her likeness, crowned with the George IV state diadem, symbolized continuity, stability, and timeless authority. Around her image are inscribed the Latin words, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These words, though ancient in tone, connect every British coin to a lineage of centuries-old monarchy and the divine right that was historically attached to the crown. The reverse of the coin features a design created by Christopher Ironside, the badge of the Prince of Wales. 3 ostrich feathers emerge from a coronet, bound together by a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This symbol represents not only the heir apparent to the British throne but also the concept of noble duty, a quiet reminder that even the smallest denomination carries the weight of royal responsibility. Now, one might wonder, if this coin was minted in the millions, how could a 1998 2-pence be worth a fortune? The answer lies in a fascinating combination of rarity, error, and mystery. During the minting year of 1998, a small number of coins are believed to have been struck using the older bronze blanks rather than the newer steel ones. These rare pieces, slightly heavier and non-magnetic, carry immense collector value today. Additionally, a few specimens are known to exhibit faint double striking, a minting error where the design appears slightly offset, creating a ghostly duplicate of the Queen's profile or the feathers of the reverse design. Such imperfections, rather than diminishing the coin's value, elevate it to legendary status in the eyes of numismatists. For collectors, minting errors are like fingerprints of history, each one unique, each telling a story of human touch in an otherwise mechanical process. In the meticulous, high-precision environment of the Royal Mint, these errors are exceedingly rare, and when discovered, they become instant treasures. But rarity alone doesn't explain the 2-pence's allure. The deeper charm lies in its connection to British identity. The late 1990s were a symbolic time for the United Kingdom, a bridge between old and new centuries. Britain was redefining its cultural image, moving toward modernity while preserving its royal traditions. The 1998 2-pence captured this moment perfectly. It was one of the last few coins before the introduction of the new portrait by Ian Rank Broadley, which appeared in 1998 and continued for many years. That makes this year a transitional point, the merging of 2 artistic eras in numismatic history. Collectors who understand this nuance appreciate the 1998 coin not merely for its physical form but as a snapshot of Britain's evolving identity under Queen Elizabeth II. Owning such a coin is like holding a chapter of royal history, one that quietly bridges the end of the 20th century and the dawn of the new millennium. stories of extraordinary finds continue to surface. In one instance, a casual coin enthusiast in northern England discovered a 1998 2p with an unusually heavy weight and deep reddish tone, a sign it may have been struck on an older bronze blank. Upon authentication, it was confirmed as a minting anomaly, one of fewer than a dozen known examples. That single coin, which once seemed like a mere pocket change, was auctioned for over $21 million to a private collector in the United States who specialized in British mint errors. The sales sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community. Newspapers called it the 2p miracle, and experts began re-examining their own collections in hopes of finding another such gem. The emotional power behind this coin's story goes beyond its material worth. Think of it, a coin that once paid for a newspaper, or maybe a sweet, now commanding a multi-million-dollar price tag. It's the embodiment of numismatic magic, how time, error, and rarity can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. There's also a sense of mystery that surrounds these coins. Some numismatists speculate that a small number of these 1998 2p coins may have been part of experimental batches or test strikes during the Royal Mint's metal transition process. Others believe a few may have been accidentally struck using foreign planchets, or with slightly misaligned dies. Whatever the reason, their existence challenges the assumption that all mass-produced coins are the same. It reminds us that even within mechanical precision, chance and uniqueness still exist. The collector community often refers to coins like this as silent witnesses of time. Each scratch, each faded letter carries a whisper of its journey, from minting presses to public circulation, from forgotten drawers to auction houses buzzing with excitement. And when you realize that such a coin bears the likeness of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose reign became one of the longest and most influential in British history, the emotional connection deepens even more. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p from 2005. It's made of copper-plated steel, lightweight, and often overlooked by most people who see it as just spare change. Yet behind its humble appearance hides a fascinating story of royal heritage, minting mastery, and a collector's dream that has turned this ordinary coin into one worth an extraordinary $19 million. Yes, you've heard that right. $19 million for a coin that once bought almost nothing. Let's dive deep into this captivating story that connects the history of a nation, the evolution of its currency, and the magic of numismatics that transforms simple metal into priceless treasure. Our story begins in 2005, a year that marked stability for the United Kingdom. The world was changing rapidly. Technology was booming, the pound sterling stood strong, and Queen Elizabeth II, the symbol of continuity and strength, was entering her 6th decade on the throne. Her image, familiar and regal, had already graced the coinage of multiple generations. Yet even in this modern time, tradition still held firm through the very coins people carried in their pockets. The 2p coin, part of the decimal coinage system introduced in 1971, was by then well established. It was first struck to replace the old pre-decimal system, where 240 pennies made a pound. When decimalization came, it simplified everything. 100p equaled 1 pound, and the new 2p coin represented the value of 2 new pennies. But while its value was small, its design carried deep symbolism. In 2005, the obverse, or front, of the coin proudly bore the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the talented sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. His portrait of the Queen, introduced in 1998, was one of the most lifelike and realistic depictions ever used on British coinage. It portrayed her not as a distant monarch, but as a dignified modern ruler. The crown, the serene expression, and the attention to detail in the curls of her hair all combined to present a sense of continuity and respect. The inscription around the portrait read, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2005, an abbreviation of the Latin phrase De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Turn the coin over, and the reverse tells another story, one of ancient heraldry and national pride. Designed by Christopher Ironside, a man celebrated for his artistic mastery and symbolic precision, The reverse features the badge of the Prince of Wales. It depicts a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, with a ribbon below bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem dates back centuries, symbolizing the loyalty and service of the Prince of Wales, traditionally the title held by the heir to the British throne. This design perfectly blended the elegance of royal history with the modern identity of the United Kingdom. The 2005 2p coin was struck by the Royal Mint, an institution with over 1,000 years of heritage. Located in Llantrisant, South Wales, the Mint operated with a balance of tradition and cutting-edge technology. Millions of these coins were produced for circulation, each one carefully checked for weight, size, and finish. The standard composition by that time had changed. Before 1992, 2p coins were made from bronze, but to cut costs and preserve copper resources, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel. This gave the coins a slightly magnetic quality, something that became a fascinating detail for collectors and kids alike. Although the 2005 2p coin was a regular circulation issue, the magic of numismatics lies in the details, and sometimes, in the mistakes. A small handful of these coins turned out to be struck with slight variations, minting errors, or proof-like finishes that were never meant to reach the public. Some of these rare errors included double striking, off-center images, or mismatched metal planchets. While to most people such things might seem like defects, to coin collectors, they are treasures, tangible evidence of human imperfection in a world striving for precision. What makes the 2005 2p coin truly fascinating, though, is how a few select examples escaped into the world in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins, often found in royal mint sets or sealed bags, have been preserved over the years, never touched by daily commerce. Collectors prize such coins for their untouched surfaces and original luster, a gleaming copper-red shine that reflects light in a mesmerizing way. Over time, as circulated examples tarnished or corroded, these mint-condition survivors became increasingly valuable. Now imagine, in the vast ocean of 2p coins, discovering one that stands out, one with a striking minting error, a subtle variation in detail, or an unusually sharp strike. Perhaps it's a transitional error, struck using the wrong metal blank from another denomination. Or maybe it's a specimen piece, specially prepared with polished dies and extra care for presentation. Such pieces are exceedingly rare, and in the right circumstances, they command staggering prices. Collectors and experts in numismatics often say that every coin tells a story. But with the 2005 2p, the story is layered, part art, part history, and part mystery. It represents a period in British coinage where tradition met modern craftsmanship. Even as the world moved toward digital money, these coins kept alive the tangible connection between people and their nation's legacy. As time passed, certain coins from 2005 began to attract attention in the collector market. Reports emerged of rare specimens selling for thousands, then tens of thousands of dollars. Auction houses began listing error coins and uncirculated sets that fetched incredible sums. But among them, a handful of truly exceptional pieces, authenticated by experts, preserved in near-perfect condition, reached almost mythic status. These were coins that collectors would travel across countries to bid on, their gleaming surfaces reflecting more than light. They reflected history itself. To truly appreciate the value of a coin like this, one must understand the psychology of collecting. Coin collectors, or numismatists, are driven not just by rarity, but by connection. They seek artifacts that tell stories, that link them to a time, a monarch, or a moment in human craftsmanship. The 2005 2p embodies that connection perfectly. It's not merely metal, it's memory, a piece of the Queen's enduring legacy during an era of change and progress. The demand for such coins has only grown since the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in 2022. Collectors around the world now seek coins bearing her likeness as symbols of a reign that spanned over 7 decades, the longest in British history. The 2005 issue stands at a fascinating point in that timeline. It captures the Queen's mature years, her confidence, and the steadfastness of her rule. For many, owning one of these coins feels like holding a piece of British heritage in miniature. As the years rolled on, the coin's allure only deepened. The transition of British coin designs in 2008, which introduced a new shield-themed reverse across denominations, made the pre-2008 designs more nostalgic. Collectors began to focus on earlier designs, recognizing their historical significance as part of the Queen's iconic coinage series. The 2005 2p, therefore, became a representative of that classic design era, the last full years before the design revolution reshaped British coinage. Stories began to surface about astonishing finds. A man cleaning out his attic discovered an uncirculated roll of 2005 2p coins, perfectly preserved in Royal Mint packaging, and auctioned them for tens of thousands of dollars. Another collector found a coin with a mismatched die error, a 2005 obverse struck on a blank meant for another year, which went on to fetch an unbelievable sum. Each discovery added to the mystique of the coin and drew more attention from numismatists across the world. On social media, collectors share photos, theories, and discoveries daily. Videos showcasing the Queen's portrait glinting under light rack up millions of views. The fascination continues, and the legend grows, proving that sometimes, history hides in plain sight, disguised as the smallest denomination in your pocket. So next time you come across a humble 2p coin from 2005, don't just glance past it. Hold it, turn it in the light, and imagine the story it carries. Maybe it's not just another coin. Maybe, just maybe, it's the next $1 million discovery waiting to be found.